possible child abduction, statutory rape, and fun for the whole family. That's right, we're talking about Big. So get ready for a aging very fast edition of the review. Lazy. Not lazy. Zartan. Isn't that what it is?
Zoltar?
Zoltar.
I don't know if it's that either. We'll get it by the end of the show.
We'll figure it out.
Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes will give you our big, dumb opinions in prep for doing Shazam!
Yeah.
Very Aquaman of you over there. I'm doing
very DC of me.
Aquaman Shazam next week. Damn it. You fucked me all right up. We started to wet our palates with a little bit of
boy turning into man real fast.
Action.
So
we started to dip our toe into the pool with Big.
The quintessential boy to man film of Big.
Right. The week after Shazam, we're going to just review every Boys to Men album.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
That would be a terrible show.
To yesterday.
Or good. Judging by that last note, it'd be great.
I was about ready to sing All My Life, but I think that's Casey and JoJo.
But before we get into what we thought about Tom Hanks and Big...
Yeah.
Because two separate things.
Two very separate things.
We are going to get into a little bit of the news of the week, starting with a bit of casting news, JT. I got this Hellboy himself, David Harbour.
Yeah.
Not only is going to be
That's coming up in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, he's going to be Hellboy.
Hellboy.
He is also now joining the cast for the Black Widow movie in the
my grits
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like David Harbour. The only thing I've seen him in so far is Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Thought he's one of the solid points of that show.
Yep.
Pretty good. Yep. See how he is in Hellboy? And I'll make my judgment from there.
Gotcha.
I think if he isn't playing like a big red monster type character, I think he'll be fine.
I believe Rachel Weisz is also going to be in Black Widow movie also.
I might have read that. I didn't know if it was for sure or not, so I left it out of the news.
Ooh, wild stuff. wild stuff.
It's absolutely true. David Harbour.
Stuff.
Black Widow movie. JT, we talked about it, and we've been following it since its inception. Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Did you get the bell ready?
Shit. Yes. It has surpassed the $1 billion mark.
Get it out! Oh, give me that bill! Give me that bill! Give me that bill! Head on down to the Captain Marvel!
Gonna ring the bell, cause it's made $1 billion!
Oh, God. I can't remember what that guy's name is.
I can't remember either, but I love that
pretty sure I
name.
used his name. I'm pretty sure I used that voice last time something made $1 billion, too. He's just gonna be our Bill Bellhop.
Bill
Bellhop.
Yeah, look up his name, would you?
I will.
So that's good news for Captain Marvel movie lovers everywhere. You can check out our review of it just a few weeks back. See what this team thought of that movie. Speaking...
Fred Schneider.
Thank God. Lead singer of the Blue 52s, if nobody knows. Or the
B-52s.
B-52s.
The Blue 52s.
What the fuck am I even talking about? Speaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there has been a lot. I get updates twice a day about fucking Avengers Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
And at this point, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anything else. That last trailer, not this last, like, TV spot or whatever that just came out, but the previous trailer is the last thing I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to go in knowing nothing else. And I know they're already, like, they're only showing so much. Mm-hmm. But even then, I'm just like, I've seen enough. Just give me the movie at this point. I don't want to dabble in any more dangling little plot threads or do any sort of speculation anymore.
Yes.
Just give me the movie.
Give it to us.
Are you going to be talking about it a little later?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about it then. JT, we're going to jump back into a little more box office news. Disney dropped this last weekend Dumbo, their live action remake of the classic animated film.
Yes.
Maybe not doing so well, judging by the first weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe not doing too great.
I know they got number 1.
Well, that wasn't saying too much, because anything else that was out was out for a while.
Yeah, like at least a week old.
So I think it only made like $45 million domestically in the box office.
I know it costs a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I want to say. It's like, it could be potentially a box office bomb.
Uh-oh.
It cost $170 million to make. Yeah, quite a bit. And roughly $340 million to break even, with marketing costs and all that kind of stuff added in there to be worldwide, you know?
Oh, shit.
So far, as of April 2nd, domestically, it's only made $53.5 million. Ugh. And then worldwide, $127 million.
I have not heard good things about the movie either.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's also getting mediocre to poor reviews.
Yeah.
IMDb, I'll just give you the 3 that we usually give. IMDb has it a 6.7 out of 10, which isn't terrible.
Yeah.
It's like a C+. No. It'd be like a D+.
Oh, God.
I guess if you're going
what
by
was their percentage?
6.7 out of 10.
Yeah, that'd be like a D.
Yeah. Plus.
D plus.
I don't know.
Sure.
Rotten Tomatoes, though, has it at a 48%.
Eee.
So it's certified. When is it certified rotten? Is it under 60%?
I think it's under 50.
Okay. And then Metacritic has it at 51%. And Metacritic is pretty good gauge on like an average.
Yeah.
So it's not doing so hot.
No.
Oh, boy. So yeah, the first weekend I don't think it made as much as they were hoping. Mm-hmm. And then next weekend it's got competition with Shazam.
Yep.
As being
and
like
Pet Cemetery.
Right, because that's a direct freaking competition for Dumbo. I guess they're both creepy animal movies.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that has a similarity to it.
That's true.
And then the week after that is Hellboy. And then 2 weeks after that is Endgame.
Yeah.
And I don't even think 2 weeks after that.
As soon as Endgame drops, then everything else is just going to get freaking
buried.
Buried.
So yeah, Dumbo, not doing so hot. Use those ears to fly away. Fly away soon, little bird. Last bit of news I got, JT. A little bit of wrestling news. Oh. WrestleMania coming up this Sunday. $9.99 to get the WWE Network. Or for free if you watch it on somebody else's account.
Yeah. I'm pissed because I guess I didn't put the dates together, so I have to go to a play with Molly and her mom during the day on Sunday.
Ugh.
So I'm going to be like, let's hurry up and get our fucking asses home.
Yeah, well, my daughter is getting her cast off as well, so like I might have it on in the house. I don't know if I'm going to make it up to Coach Havens' WrestleMania gala to see the boys.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll give it a shot.
Hanging with the
boys. And we'd be playing shirtless beach volleyball during the commercials.
Exactly. That's what we do.
But did you happen to see the John Oliver last week tonight little stint about the WWE?
Yes, I did.
What's your take on that?
It is very much needed to be said.
Yeah?
Like, wrestlers have been getting the shaft for a long fucking time.
Yeah, I know the argument of it is kind of one-sided. But
Yeah.
I do also think it needed to be more out in the populace.
Yeah.
Mostly because of, like, wrestler deaths.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And it's one of those things where, it needs to be regulated the same way, like, steroids and stuff need to be regulated, where, like, you're always going to find someone willing to go that far for it. That doesn't make it necessarily right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they've been feeding off of people signing up as, like, independent contractors for exclusive contracts for ever since since their inception.
Yes.
And now that they're, like, the biggest thing around, it really makes no sense that they can't have them as actual employees.
Right. I know. So if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, John Oliver on Last Week Tonight had his whole expose on the WWE just because WrestleMania is coming up. It's a hot topic thing right now. And didn't really paint, even though he said he loves wrestling.
Yeah.
Which I believe him. Like,
yeah.
It's, but he also was like, these are some problems with the major company out right now.
Yeah.
Like, wrestlers are technically independent contractors, so they don't have to get them, like, health insurance or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they also, if they are independent contractors, then they should be able to work elsewhere if they want to, but they can't because there's, like, a non-competitive clause or something in it.
Well, they sign exclusive contracts. But
Right.
but they're labeled as independent contractors in the exclusive contracts.
Right. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That and their wellness policy is, even though WWE says it's great now, and I would also argue that they have taken great strides in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
For that wellness policy.
Yeah.
But
a lot of it was just to cover their own asses, though.
Yes, that. And from what you hear from certain wrestlers that have now maybe not with the company, is that maybe that's not, like, behind the scenes. It's kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
On, like, how the doctors and paramedics and whatever.
Well, what they do is, like, they just, whatever makes the headlines, that's what they fix. So they've never really actually fixed the system. They just plugged in the really big holes and left the other ones leaking.
Yeah. Until they get too big.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we have this big thing about, like, post-concussion syndrome. Well, then no more chair shots to the head.
Right.
Okay, but then what about all this other shit where, like, you're working people nonstop?
Yeah. Working them for, 250 days out of the year?
I think they work 300 days a year.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought I was overshooting by 250.
Next to house shows and major events, they work 300 days a year.
God, that is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
With that, and plus, like, a lot of the lackadaisical medical stuff that they do, like, especially people that are, like, if you're a big name, like, you're probably fine, but, like, for the people lower on the card, like, if you get hurt, they don't really give a shit. They'll cut you loose.
Right. Because you're an independent contractor.
Yeah. They don't have to pay you. They don't have to pay you anything in terms of severance or anything. It's just, yeah, you're gone.
Right. It's awful.
But and then it's like, but you have enough people out there willing to actually do that anyone that's trying to make a living off of it has to eat shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I was curious to have your take on it. I was watching some other things on the internet where, like, maybe I think the locker room of WWE locker room kind of fired back a little bit, but they did invite him to come to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I wondered, like, how that would actually go if, like, people are just kind of just pissed off at him. I don't know.
You can't really take their word for, like, because they're gonna side with WWE.
Yes.
Because they're employees there.
Yes.
Like, I've seen a lot of people say glowing things about Vince McMahon. It doesn't mean that he's not taking advantage of them too.
Right.
It's like a lot of the people that, like, stick up for him are the ones that are on the actual payroll that do get retirement and health insurance and shit. And then, like, a lot of the wrestlers, like, they'll stick up for him, but that's because if they say one small thing about him, they're gonna get fucking fired.
Right. Or buried.
Yeah. Yeah. So
fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was really, really good. Eye-opening to the public.
Yeah. I mean, the report itself is kind of one-sided because he does draw from a lot of interviews when they were, like, very on the outs with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Bret Hart thing was taken from like a documentary where like Bret Hart, like it was like right after Owen died.
Yeah, yeah.
Where of course
Yeah.
he'd be pissed.
Yes. Yeah. But, yeah, anyway, so I thought that was an interesting little expose, so check that out if you want. Also, WrestleMania's coming up. I'm still excited for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that out on Sunday if you can, or if you want. I don't care. If you're not a wrestling fan, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
Go to a play. Fuck. But that's all the news I got.
All right. Motherfucker. Miss Saigon, too. I don't know what the fuck. This better be good.
I think I know what that's about. I don't know if I want to see that.
I know. I wish I would have, like, actually...
It's a famous play, but I don't know if I'd ever want to see it.
The only thing I know about it that Molly told me was that there's supposed to be a scene in it where a helicopter lands on the stage.
Where is this?
It's like... I think it's, like, in Madison.
Okay.
Ah... Who's calling me? No, thank you.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. Who's calling me at 8:43 at night? Some shit. All right.
Fucking up your whole news
It's
segment.
fucking everything up, man. Troy, this is probably already known, but just for to make it well known.
Okay.
Umbrella Academy got renewed.
Sweet.
For a season 2.
I'm into it.
So get ready for it.
Wouldn't that suck if it didn't get? It just like leaves on this fairly big cliffhanger. And then...
I don't know. That would have been a cool like end.
No. They set up a lot of cool things to come, and then just to never have them followed up. I think that would kind of stink.
Yeah, that's true. But still, would have been cool.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah. This is a weird one. This is a weird fucking story. So, the Academy Awards, you know, they've been having some on again, off again type relationship with streaming services about whether or not to include them in the award show.
Right. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, Spielberg getting out there being like, fuck, they aren't movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so for some reason, the Justice Department of the United States
what?
stepped in and said that if the Oscars do not make Netflix movies or Netflix or any streaming services eligible, it's a... What the fuck were they calling it?
The Justice Department.
Yeah,
of the
like,
United
why the
States.
fuck are they getting involved in this?
Because, you dumbass.
Uh-oh, here she is.
Oh, there you go.
Here she is.
Because you dumbass.
It has to deal with, like,
Antitrust laws.
Yeah.
But what does that mean in terms of antitrust laws?
I have
Get in
no
here.
idea.
School me.
They're because the Oscars are trying to limit out streaming, and they can't. How do I say it? Like they can't narrow down. Like it's basically like trying to edge out another like viable form of media.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like
Yeah,
they're
like
trying
they're
to
too
edge out their
powerful.
competition
Yes.
to become like a quote monopoly.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
makes
so
sense
they
then.
were saying that they
Gotcha.
can't do that.
Gotcha.
And it was like I read an article that was like, whatever you're trying to do, stop. Not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much what they were saying, because it's like, we're getting the feeling that you're trying to fuck over streaming services. You stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Suck it. Why can't I? Why am
Suck
I
it.
stuttering?
Suck it,
Spielberg.
Which I'm glad.
Fuck it, Spielberg.
Which I'm glad they are, because it's like, I feel like a lot of like studio films nowadays are just kind of rehashing the same old shit, where like Netflix is actually giving more opportunities to like smaller filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, your fave. You love a good small film.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, they took a chance and they picked up shit. Now I can't think
Bird
of
Box.
it. Yeah, not Bird Box. The one that it was for Best Picture.
Roma.
Roma.
And that's why that was listed in the article, because that's I think why Spielberg was so mad, is there was a streaming movie in the Best Picture and was like rallying.
But it technically isn't a Netflix movie. They just picked it up to
Netflix,
distribute it.
Yeah, Netflix is the distributor, yeah.
But they were trying to squash that because Roma they put in theaters for a few weeks, and that's where they were like, well, that doesn't count. And it's like well, you can't discount this.
Yeah, it has to be in theaters for, I think, a month or so in order to be considered up for Best
Quit trying to be so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cut it
power.
out.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that the government had to step in.
Of all things.
Yeah.
The United States government.
I mean, why the fuck are they doing that when they should be building that wall?
I am sick right now.
Oh my god. Anytime you bring up anything slightly political, I'm just like, oh,
you're just alienating everyone.
I'm having fun. We're having fun, guys.
We're all having fun here.
Are we?
Not
I mean,
me.
I guess I just joined. So.
I'm not, no.
I'm done.
No one is having fun.
We're fucking done professionally.
Yeah. Way good for you.
Shut up, RB.
Well, something we can get behind is, of course, Avengers Endgame.
Of course.
I just watched the trailer.
They just had, you watched we'll talk
right
about that
before
later.
I came in here.
We'll talk about that later, but...
it was hard to find on YouTube.
They buried it.
Well, no, because
Buried it.
by this point there's so many of the like extra review of the trailer videos
Oh,
that it was kind of hard.
God.
I was like, I just want to watch the trailer.
I've
I
been
was looking through the list.
I've been stumbling on so many podcasts where they're just like, here's what I think the whole movie's going to be based on the 4 minutes of footage I've seen. Like,
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah,
You're an idiot.
I know that
but do
used
you
to be
watch
like a
those?
thing that we do,
No.
but I've grown so tired of that. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
We used to do
it's
a
like,
lot
just go
more
to the movie.
speculation on this show.
and
Yeah.
see.
Now we just watch trailers like,
That was good.
that looks fine. Maybe we'll
alright.
see it. Maybe I'll see it, and then I don't.
We're definitely
That's
seeing
my
this
life.
though. I even added it to the family calendar.
Oh.
Did you?
Well, because we're going on a trip, and I thought our trip was during Endgame, and I'm like, oh crap! And we're going with your brothers and kids to the Wisconsin Dells,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, I don't know who would be able to like,
We'll get found.
but like I don't know like who would be able to watch our kid. So I'm like, Endgame, but it's actually the weekend before our trip.
Yeah.
So it's on the family calendar.
People are going to put 2 and 2 together. They're going to find out where you are and then torture you until you tell them where your dad is so they can go and find him and throw him in a lake.
I was like, where's this going?
It makes sense.
No,
You know what?
it's an ongoing joke on the show that
Pretty
if
sure
people
he
ever
would kill
find out
anyone who comes after him.
if people ever find out where Troy is or where he works, they're going to put enough information together to find out where his dad is so they can throw him in a lake.
His dad has killed a mouse with a shoe.
Yet he can't swim.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
also
his
killed
kryptonite.
he's also killed a raccoon with a hatchet.
The
think
blunt end.
That's a step up from a mouse with a shoe.
Well,
He's like Bruce Willis from Unbreakable.
He is.
he
Yeah.
will kill anyone who tries to approach. You're already dead.
Well, anyways, this Avengers Endgame news that I've been sitting on.
Oh yeah.
They had the advanced ticket sales this past week.
I think I know where you're going.
And I guess it was so popular that it clogged almost every website it was available on.
Of course. Good.
Did you? I heard on the radio this morning that there was either someone or some entity was trying to sell tickets to the premiere for like $10,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was, and I'm listening to this radio station. They're like, some idiot is totally gonna buy these, and then the guy who sells them is gonna see it the next night.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah?
all so that you can get in there early.
Oh, yeah.
But somebody would be dumb enough to.
Yeah,
do that.
I know. Some dumb fucking idiot would do that.
Tell us how
That
you
makes
really
me so
feel.
mad.
I know, but they were even like, "What is the point? Like, it's going to be in theaters for weeks that you would spend that kind of money. That's like Super
I hope
Bowl
it's
tickets
some
money.
like lowly podcast that wants not us, as I will not do that.
You
Nor
don't
do
have
I have
the
the
funds.
flip.
Just
Yeah,
call them
you're
and
not
tell them you're a
spending
critic,
enough.
Troy.
Because that works every time.
Have you tried that?
Yeah,
Oh.
once.
He tried that once.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I was
did?
embarrassed listening to it.
Hi, I'm a critic.
Yeah.
We're two small town dudes with two big dumb opinions. We'd really love to watch your movie.
He called AMC
Which was probably
And
some
said this.
16-year-old
That's okay.
kid.
First of all, it was to see
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man, which was
Oh.
only playing at
Garbage.
AMC.
Yeah.
And I called them because I said my associate is a movie critic and would
Your
like to come in there so
associate.
we could review the show.
They show up in oversized
And they
suits with a
said
briefcase.
no immediately, that the times are set. Because I asked them if we could see it at a certain time. They said no. I'm like, well,
That's a ballsy
doesn't
move.
hurt to ask. Goodbye. Click. And then I was just embarrassed to ever say that again.
And you did.
And
I
I
appreciate you
Didn't
for
know
it.
that till right now.
Oh, well.
I'm looking at you.
There's
a
some
little
things I don't
differently.
tell you because I feel like you'd
Of
look at me
shame.
like a little dumb boy.
A dumb boy.
A dumb boy.
I'm a dumb boy. Troy, you love bad moms.
What? Excuse me. I am a great mom.
Until you watch Bad Moms.
I hate that movie. It's stupid.
How many of these are there so far?
There's like a Christmas
There's
one.
two of them. There's Bad Moms and then there's Bad Moms Christmas.
Ugh.
But there's the third one coming out now
Oh my.
Can't
called
wait.
Bad Moms Moms. That's going to star
Oh, no.
just the grandmothers that showed up in the Christmas one.
Don't care.
Why?
Susan Sarandon, Cheryl Hines, and Christine Baranski.
Don't care.
Sarandon is better than that.
Not anymore. She's in Bad Moms.
What has become?
I
of
don't
these
know.
Women?
So, like, me and Chelsea were on a real movie-going stint before we had Macy.
Yeah.
And so we went to a movie probably every weekend
Didn't
for 2
even matter
months.
what it was.
Yeah.
We were just like, let's do it.
Bad Moms ended up being one of them.
And I hated it.
Well, I think we left both thinking like, that's not really great, but it's not terrible.
I
It's just like,
remember thinking like I was disappointed because the women in the movie, I think, are very funny actresses on their own. But then you had this movie and they were just using like a ton of profanity to try and be funny.
yeah.
I was like, who wrote this? Because it was like they just would drop like the F-bomb every 5 seconds. And I'm like, it's not funny. Like, it's
Yeah.
not
It's
even well crafted.
But that's like almost all comedies nowadays.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
after The
actually...
Hangover,
But
I
it
would
was
say
just
after Old
disappointing
School,
because
that's
I'm
pretty
like,
much
you
like
have
what
this. They were
happened.
like an all-female cast and empowering and all these like moms. I was pregnant, but they were like, you should see it. It's so dead on. I'm like, I saw it and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
like,
okay,
it is
so
stupid.
I went out of it thinking like, that was fine. And then the more I would just see like, oh, me and the girls are getting together
Going to
tonight
Bad
watching Bad Moms
Moms.
having wine. And I'd be like, oh my god, I hate movies and wine now.
No way, was it rosé? Yeah,
Yeah.
movies and wine.
I
Specifically
hate
together.
movies and wine.
Great. So
My
what other
God.
tidbits you got on this dog crap movie?
Well, nothing.
that
That's coming out. It looks shitty.
That's coming out and it's shitty. Great.
Cool.
But some news on what could be a possible good film. They revealed the
Bad
first
Moms,
footage.
Dads.
Bad moms, dads, moms.
Go ahead.
They revealed the first footage for Ewan McGregor's new film Doctor Sleep.
Oh, I don't
Which
know
is supposed
anything about
to
Yeah,
that.
I don't know
be-
what that is.
It's supposed to be the continuation of The Shining, where we follow a adult Danny Torrance.
Okay.
And it's been getting pretty good praise from what people have seen at, I think it was at CinemaCon.
I
When
just
does
saw a
that-
ton of stuff for CinemaCon.
When does that come out? Because I have not heard anything about this.
I don't know when it comes out exactly, but
Must
I'm
be
pretty
a
pumped
while.
for it because Shining's badass.
I can't. I've never seen it, but I know what it is. You guys were making fun of me because I know of horror films, but I refuse to watch them. But I know what they are. You
Great.
jerks. You bums.
Yeah. Bum fight each other.
You bum daddies.
Bum daddy. That sounds fine, I guess. I always find it weird when they just like oh, I thought you were shaking your head at me.
Shaking my head at her. She's going nuts over bum daddies over here.
I always find it weird when they just have like a spin-off of like some obscure character from something. Sometimes it pays off great, but most of the time it's just garbage. And I'm just like,
I don't know.
So
He's got the shinin.
just got, you want to get sued? I just made
God.
a Simpsons reference earlier today, and it totally went wasted upon somebody else. I can't remember what it even was now.
It wasn't me.
No, I think it was my boss at work. I was like, "You remember watching The Simpsons?" Where, and then I was just like, "This is going nowhere," but I finished the story anyway.
He just kind of looked at you with the glazed off stare and was like, huh.
Yeah, and then he just walked away mid-story. Yeah, I don't know.
My last bit of news, though, Troy. Some more horror movie news.
Horror. There's been a lot of
And
horror stuff
Chelsea.
recently.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Child's Play,
Uh-huh.
the remake, is coming up. They just
Okay.
got the voice
Oh,
of Chucky.
John Cena.
If only.
Yes, it is. It is Johnson. No, Mark Hamill
Oh, I did hear about this.
Wait,
Yeah.
will play the voice of Chucky.
He is quite the voice actor though. Doesn't
Yeah.
he do
He's
the
done
Joker
more
and
voice acting than actual
Yeah.
acting.
And he's really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what else has he got going on since he was killed off in Star Wars?
Oh my god! Spoiler.
Boo hoo.
Oh, you didn't see Last Jedi?
Try not to be a bum daddy about it.
Popular movies of last year.
Yeah, some people might not have seen one of the most popular movies of last year.
Yeah, well, suck it.
Or 2 years ago, I guess. It would
Was
be.
it 2 years
Christ.
already?
Yeah,
been a
because
while.
Solo came out last year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while.
I already did it. I already beat you to it.
You're right.
Damn
Right. You're right.
Good old Hamill. When you said
you're right,
Mark Hamill, I was thinking John Hamm, which is not would not be a
John
good
Hamm being
as
Chucky's
Chucky.
voice.
Chucky featuring John Hamm. It's just Chucky,
Chucky
smoking and
Chucky
doing an
as
ad.
John Hamm.
Yeah, it's just literally him as Chucky as Don
That
Draper.
sounds awful.
Just treating women like shit.
I think he already does.
What?
Chucky? I
Chucky
don't think
treats
he's like
everyone like
really
shit. He
fair
stabs
and awesome
everybody.
to women.
Oh, I thought you were talking about John Hamm. I'm like, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, he is a.
Chucky's
I
an
mean,
equal
not Mad Men.
opportunity
Suppose he's well endowed.
shit treater.
I heard he's got a huge hog.
He's got a rockin' dinger.
God, you bet he does.
Ew. Oh,
Oh, there's someone's gonna look up now. Probably dingers. So
probably just John Hamm's dinger.
Me and Molly were watching Game of Thrones before I came over here, and we were just like, man, they just threw a towel over Jon Snow's dinger right there.
I'm glad
Oh,
dinger
God.
is now a part of your daily life.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to use that from now on.
great.
oh, mercy me. I guess it's done then.
I guess it is done.
Guess it's done. I got 2 trailers.
I also have 2
JT.
trailers.
What? I hope they're not the same 2 trailers.
They probably are.
One of them is probably the same. I'm actually almost certain one of them is the
I
same.
just thought of it and I was like, oh, yeah.
I know exactly the one that is the same.
Yeah.
Quit looking at me, boys.
I thought you wanted to be included in this.
So we'll save that one for last.
It's like a
Okay.
scolding look.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
let me talk about mine first then. I'm just
Okay.
going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I'm going to test the waters.
Me go
here.
first?
Me go-
Okay.
Me go first. Okay.
Migos.
Yeah, Migos. Specifically the rap.
I saw a trailer for a movie called The Dead Don't Die, and it stars a slew of pretty interesting actors. It's got Bill Murray in a
Dig it.
role. It's got Kylo Ren in a role.
Adam Driver.
Thank you. It's got Tilda Swinton.
Oh,
It's got
I like her.
Tom Waits.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of Danny Glover is in this movie.
Oh, man.
Like
Too old for this shit?
Exactly. And it's about like this it's like this zombies come to life type story.
Yeah.
But it looks like an odd, like weird askew version, like kind of a ho-hum version of like zombies coming to life. And I think it looks like super fun.
Before this.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't even know if it'd be like a black comedy really. I mean, there's like zombies like biting people's necks and stuff, but it's downplayed like a Bill Murray style
Or he's
type
the zombie
comedy.
and just wasn't he was in Adventure? No, was it
Zombieland.
Zombieland,
Yeah.
where he is pretending to be a zombie so he can golf.
Yeah, so he can golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one he
only
plays
it's a
like a police.
continuation.
He plays a policeman with
It's
Adam Driver.
the longest
Oh my
death
God.
scene ever. Like,
I think it looks pretty fun. Like I don't.
That's cool.
Yeah, check out the trailer of it. I think it's only for like a certain crowd.
I don't know, I've been hearing about this movie, but I haven't seen a trailer for it
I
yet.
haven't seen it
I'm
either.
I think
super.
it just came out just yesterday.
I
or
saw
the
the
day
little
before.
thumbnail on YouTube, but I haven't actually watched it.
I had
It's just,
no
Adam
idea.
Driver reaching for. I didn't know it was a zombie film.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
Somebody grab some peanut butter because I'm super jelly that I haven't seen this trailer yet.
Ooh, I really thought that was going to go down a much darker path.
Oh my, Chelsea, enough.
What path would that have gone down?
I'm assuming
I'm not gonna
something
spell it
going
out.
on
Get
the
the-
privates. on your
Please,
dinger.
yeah. Somebody get some peanut butter because I'm gonna put it all over my nuts.
Keep your dinger out of all peanut butter jars.
Yeah.
You sick freak.
Well, I saw the
No.
minute TV spot for Avengers Endgame
Mm-hmm.
that everyone is just raving about.
Uh-huh.
People going bonkers for this.
Uh-huh.
Now, Chelsea, you said you saw.
I did. I just watched it.
Did you watch that spot or did you watch like a trailer?
Like I said, it was kind of hard to find. I searched Avengers Endgame and then had to go to new trailer, and I looked for one that was posted. It was posted yesterday,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
That's the
think
one.
it was it. But
There you go.
The one
it was like
that-
a minute long.
Tell you to buy
Yeah, I think
tickets
so.
at the end of it.
yes,
So-
There you
tickets
go.
available.
So
now.
what'd you think about it?
I don't know. It still had some footage from the other trailers, so not
Yeah.
all of it was new. But you see Thanos with a bright light behind him.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Okay. And then you see Tony Stark kissing Pepper Potts. So it's
Yeah.
oh, I guess for sure he makes it back in some capacity.
Yeah, they do. I think there is a scene where they do show him, Captain America, and Thor all standing together, which is kind of cool. Like the whole, they're like the first three that come in contact
The
with each
OG.
other, and yeah, they're the OGs.
And that I thought it was cool because it was talking about loss and things like that. And you see Nebula sitting there with Rocket Raccoon. And
Yeah,
she,
that
holds
was the
his
coolest
paw.
for me. There's like a scene where it's like Nebula and Rocket Raccoon are like consoling each other because they're like the
Yeah.
only two people left from space that kind of know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Which
I mean,
they both should actually hate each other, but it's like, well, you're the only other person I know.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a ton of other stuff though. I mean, you see Thanos. I assume to be his
I
ship.
mean, it was cool that they they have Thanos in it. Like they haven't really had much of Thanos in the other
then he
ones.
does do a
this is
voiceover.
yeah, this is the one where he's like, motherfuckers just couldn't leave it alone, could
Yeah.
you? Pretty much.
Couldn't give up because you didn't win.
Yeah. Motherfuckers over here.
And then they're on a planet that looks like there's destruction all around. So I don't know. I mean, it was still kind of a cryptic, still using the same imagery type
Good.
thing. So I didn't think it really gave much away, other than the Tony Stark Pepper Potts thing, which I kind of wish they wouldn't. I don't know, because there's no guarantee she was alive.
You wish you would have died
No,
without
well,
seeing her.
It was a more emotional trailer where he's leaving her the message because he's
Yeah.
running out of air, and so you have no idea if she's even
Yeah.
on Earth. She could be one of the ones who disappeared, and then in this trailer he's just kissing her, and so I was like, well, I don't know if that really added to the trailer.
You know what a fun fan theory is that I just heard the other day is that the trailers that we originally saw, like Tony Stark up in the spaceship or whatever, he actually dies there.
I've heard that.
And then
idea
when
too.
if the Avengers go back in time, which it's speculated that they do, they run into a
Younger version.
Tony Stark
Yeah.
and bring him into
And that's why,
the present.
in the desert where he came out of the cave or something, they're saying it's from when he first.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I also heard another theory too, where how they get rid of Captain America is that when they do the time travel stuff, he stays
In the
back
past.
in the 40s with
finish out his life
with
there.
Peggy
Oh my God,
Carter.
I would cry so hard.
I hope I cry in this movie.
I hope you do.
I hope I do.
I hope I look over and you're just glistening in the light
Glistening
of
with
the film.
tears.
Glistening, glistening with
Glistening
your,
with salty
your
tears.
Yeah.
salty dad tears.
I wanna see.
I hope there's a moment where there's a girl and her dad, Hawkeye and his daughter, and you're like, I'm not okay.
I want to see where the sweat meets the tears.
That's usually what gets you, is if there's anything with a daughter dad thing. You're just
Oh yeah, kid stuff
gone.
now. I'm just fucking wrecked.
Yeah, I think the chick from 13 Reasons Why is supposed to be his daughter, I think, in it.
That
They
doesn't do
the one
anything
trailer
for
had
me.
him teaching archery. I would
Yeah.
imagine is his daughter.
Yeah.
Please touch my mic some more.
Why don't you get into that mic right there?
Let me just eat this mic.
So, Avengers Endgame, it's less than a month away.
I know. Yeah, 26.
We're
We're already, what is today, the 3rd?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
We're
yeah.
going to figure this out because
3
you guys
weeks
are going to be
away
leaving
almost.
for the
Yeah.
Dells.
But that's... Oh, yeah. We might
Yeah.
have to do it a day early.
All right.
Shoot.
Shoot.
Get a day
Yeah, we're
early.
not gonna
all
we're
those
not gonna
people.
not go to the Dells, if you know what I'm saying. Joel,
I don't-
we love you, but
I'm not asking you guys to stay just for a review.
good freaking luck. You bum daddy.
God damn it. All right.
Oh, wow.
Hashtag make bum daddy cool.
The hashtag's already trending.
Hashtag bum daddy.
Yes. The tags are tending.
Hashtag see.
That's right. We're tending to the tags.
Might just tweet it right now.
One last trailer, Troy. We both got it.
Yes, that's right.
Came out, dropped this morning.
Mm-hmm. And the internet was abuzz with this
Yeah.
trailer. The trailer for Joker
Joker.
came out. The wacky Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
Yeah.
Looks very interesting.
I'm for it.
Same. The more I see of it, the more I want it.
I'm for it.
I really have no idea how close of a connection to any actual comic book stuff there is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Because that'll be like maybe my one like caveat. It's like, why'd you make it a Joker movie?
Yeah.
Just for name recognition only? If
yeah.
it really has no connective tissue to whatever.
Yeah.
I saw that he goes to a Gotham hospital in it, so I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess he goes to a
Sure.
building with the one word on it. That would make it like a comic book thing. But
But isn't the guy that's on the TV, wasn't he like the commissioner before Gordon? The guy
guy
that's
on the TV.
Yeah, there's like a guy on the TV that's talking about like how crime is like what kind of maniac would do this.
Oh,
I think he's the commissioner before Gordon is.
Commissioner Loeb.
In yeah. I think in the
Nerd
Nolan.
much?
I think that's in like the Nolan ones.
That's in the real one too. It's taken from the real stuff. Loeb, Commissioner Loeb.
No, but the guy that plays him, I think he's the guy from he's the guy that plays Loeb from the no, maybe it's not Loeb from the fuck.
You just
I
cornered
swear I
yourself
thought-
in your own theory.
I swear I've seen him. I saw him in like one of the Batman. I think so. The guy.
Time will tell.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it looks pretty interesting. I hope the gritty crime noir type feel really plays up
Yeah.
this like gangster-esque type aspect. If that's really what he's going for. I really like Joaquin Phoenix. Really like looks like he dove into this role. He looks very sickly thin
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
He-
not machinist type thin, but like there's like that scene where
like
it's
the
panning
fighter
on his-
thin.
Yeah, the fighter thin. But like there's like a scene where it's panning in on him, like him like bent over on his back, and he's like you can see like every bone in his back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. And I don't know. He strikes me as like the thing I like the most about it, just based on what they say in the trailer, is like he just seems like a guy who lives such a depressing life, but is always encouraged to be happy, that he just mixes up
Breaks.
depressing shit with like funny things.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh well, shit.
Okay.
Well, if I'm supposed to be happy and everything's depressing, then depressing things make me happy.
Oh God.
Like it kind of like
does
it
that
kind of
sound like
pushes
somebody we know?
him. It kind of pushes him past like a threshold or something. I don't know. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm into it. Bring it on us. Rain it down on us.
Rain it down. October it comes out.
October.
You're the man now, dog.
Do you get any of this, Chelsea?
No, but it's fun watching your faces as you gaze at each other saying these jokes.
Check it out sometime. Sean
Check it
Connery.
out sometime.
Real living legend. Junior. I want to go back and watch Indiana Jones. P.S.
No
I
shit.
would never fight you on that.
Great.
I love Indiana
We should
Jones.
do like a I legit have like all of August open.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
I can't
funny.
find shit
I think we're
for
kind of
August.
busy.
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay, well then I guess
shit.
the show's not going on for August.
Yep, just cancel it. Gonna be
Show's canceled for August.
knee deep in baby
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Knee deep in baby shit,
Yep. No, we can
figuratively and literally.
Yeah,
You're
we'll
gonna
just...
need it. You're gonna need this
I will.
to survive.
I'll need some sort of escapism.
Yeah.
Nah, it's canceled.
God damn.
Turn Random Movies, Troy.
Yes.
5 has ended.
Yes.
The Turn Random Movies 5 has officially ended. We had Platoon versus Vacation. Did you see who won, Troy?
I didn't see who won.
Christmas vacation.
No.
Vacation was winning for a good portion of the week. And then I believe it was Dinosaur Neil chimed in and said, "Fuck Vacation." And then retweeted it. And then after that, Platoon jumped ahead
Isn't that
Took
what
the
you
spot.
wanted?
and took the whole thing.
I was up for whatever
we
one.
were up for
really.
whatever. Maybe the slight promise of a possible cameo by Kenny Hunter Dave.
That's
Kenny
what pushed it
Hunter
over.
Dave. Oh, I forgot that's not what we coined him.
The possible cameo from him might have drawn a few more votes, but that's not even a foregone conclusion yet.
Right.
Don't get your hopes up.
Right.
But this will be the film we will review at a later date. Platoon,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down the pipeline.
Yes.
Get ready.
I am. I'm prepared.
Get ready, y'all.
I'm prepared. I did actually vote for Platoon.
Really?
Yes.
I
Did
think
you?
I voted for Vacation.
Really?
It's
Christmas vacation.
I watched it a shit ton when I was growing up because like it was on HBO all the time.
Oh, I thought you just like put it in the VCR to watch over and
The
over.
VCR. Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, no, we didn't have it on tape.
I'm talking about
This is like back when, like,
Oh, I
tapes
thought
were
you meant
expensive.
now. I'm like,
No.
we rocking that VHS? Oh my
No
goodness.
way, man.
If it comes down to something like now to the finals, if it's something that I feel like I should have seen by now, I will pick that. And I feel like Platoon is the bigger draw for me to. I should be able to see that first
I
before.
can see that.
Because I know what happens in Vacation, even though
Yeah.
I haven't seen it ever all the way through.
Yeah, you don't know what happens in Platoon?
No, I'm pretty
my.
a blank slate on Platoon.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Well, that should make it more interesting then.
Yes.
So Platoon will be reviewed at a later date, probably maybe May.
Maybe me.
Maybe May.
I'll see if I can get at least a soundbite by Kenny Hunter Dave.
Yeah, I would enjoy hearing the voice of Kenny Hunter Dave.
There's got to be some kid's birthday party's going to show up too soon, right? Just lock him in a room and get some audio from him.
But of course, when a tournament ends, Troy, we do this thing all over again.
That's right.
I got more films. I've got 16 more films we can cycle through and find out which one of them is the best that will be reviewed at a later date based on the votes of our illustrious fans.
Yes.
And I've got the first round match.
Okay.
I've got a film from 2019.
What? That's this year.
Yeah, that's right. I'm starting hot.
Okay.
And another film from 2016
Okay.
that is a kind of a different take on a giant monster film.
Okay.
What?
So the film from 2019, the tagline is "Her Legend Begins."
2016, you said?
2019.
Oh,
Her legend begins.
Her Legend Begins.
from 2019.
2019.
Her
Her Legend Begins.
begins.
Medusa.
I have no idea. Her.
Her Legend
The more you say her, the less I think you
Begins.
know. And it's a
I am-
horror film?
No, it's not a horror film. It's just a film.
Oh, I give up.
I can't think of
Is it a
anything
superhero film?
that we haven't already like reviewed.
Is it a superhero film?
I'll give you a hint, Troy. It's pretty popular. No, I'm kidding.
I do that shit to him all the time.
Uh,
I'll give you a hint, Joel. It's pretty popular.
it is Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, okay.
I heard that actually was really good, but I have no interest in seeing it.
I don't remember what the,
It's like
general consensus of that was.
I did hear that it was getting good reviews, and I know your brother and his wife went and saw it, and he liked it, and usually sleeps through films because he's just warm and cozy.
Oh.
But they both said they liked it. I don't know. I'm just not into the anime. It seemed too anime.
It's got big eyes. That's about it.
It just seemed anime-ish.
Well, it's based on one, so
yeah. So
maybe you'll be more drawn.
Booyah.
Maybe you'll be more drawn to the film that it's going up against. A film from 2016.
Big Mama's House.
A different take on a giant monster film. The tagline: "There's a monster in all of us."
There's a monster in all of us.
From 2016.
A giant monster film?
Yes.
What was going on in 2016?
Is it The Thing?
It's a smaller film. I'll give you that.
3 years ago? Is it that? Don't make that one with John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
No, that's where you can't make sound.
No.
But it is a monster film.
Yeah, giant monster film.
Godzilla.
Monsters University.
Not Godzilla. It is the strange Anne Hathaway film Colossal.
I don't even know.
I wouldn't have ever guessed that, but
I don't even know what that is.
I vaguely know what it is. I haven't heard much about it after 2016.
It's a film about Anne Hathaway plays like this chick that was kind of a burnout that goes back to her small town, and at the same time there's a giant monster terrorizing, I think, South Korea, and you find out that they're connected in some way.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
That's all. I did see it.
Okay.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was good.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Alita Battle Angel versus Colossal.
Okay.
We'll put that up. We'll find out which film moves on to the next round.
Great. I think I already have my choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to share, or do you want to keep
Yeah, I'll
it to
share.
yourself?
I'll share for first round stuff.
What you thinking,
I
Troy?
think I'm leaning towards Colossal. I
Really?
think it'd make for a more interesting conversation. I don't know much about it, but I think I know what Alita Battle Angel's about, and I think there's more to talk about Colossal.
Yeah. Colossal has some pretty fun twists and turns in there that you don't really see coming.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay. I'm glad I am going to vote for that one then.
Okay. So there you go. Alita Battle Angel versus Colossal. Troy is leaning towards Colossal. So do you want to stick it to him?
Ah, damn it.
So...
Now I don't know what.
Why the fuck do I share my opinion on this? There you go. Get your votes in there.
Very good.
And then look forward to our review of Platoon somewhere down the line.
Yes. You can vote at Review Pod on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Check out them polls.
Check out them polls.
Well, with that out of the way, we're going to jump right into the hot topic of the evening. We're reviewing Big. Dropping in America's laps in June 3rd of 1988.
Ooh, summer release.
With a budget of $18 million.
Pretty nice.
Pretty measly budget. Domestically, raked in $115.2 million. Worldwide, really not that much more. $151.9 million.
Yeah.
Only making $40 more million overseas.
Still.
Money in the pocket.
40
right?
more million based off of like an $18 million budget. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Rotten Tomatoes is at a 97%.
That's pretty high for the subject
what it
material.
is.
Yeah. IMDb, 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic, 73%. And RealFilm.com, 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
That's right. This movie ranked number 4 in box office draws in 1988.
Wow.
JT, could you give me
Shit.
the top 5?
Well, it's not Top Gun.
It's not Top Gun.
Not Top Gun was 86, wasn't it?
It's 86.
Look who's
Son of a
talking.
Bitch.
No. Can you give me
Uh,
some top 5 movies in 1988? I'll give you a hint. Number 4
It's pretty
is
popular.
Big.
Oh.
The Wiz.
No.
The Wiz? The fuck?
With a definite no.
Short Circuit.
No.
Lethal Weapon 2.
No. One more guess each before I just move on.
I'm thinking 90s, not 80s.
You need to go to 88. 88.
You already said Top Gun?
Days of Thunder.
No.
1988.
1988.
Thelma and Louise.
No. Number 5 is Twins.
Oh.
Number 4 is Big. Number 3, Coming to America.
Oh,
Never seen
yeah.
it.
Number 2, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh.
Number 1, Rain Man.
Number 1 was Rain Man?
As a box office draw.
For some reason, I did have like Tom Cruise stuck in my head, so I think that gives me some credit.
Okay. All right.
Is he in Rain Man?
Yeah. He
I always forget that he is.
He's not the brother.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. He's the guy that travels with Dustin Hoffman.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I would assume like Who Framed Roger Rabbit would have been the bigger draw, but Rain Man I guess
like that
raked it
movie.
in.
I dated a guy in high school who was like obsessed with the movie Rain Man, so I refused
What?
to watch it.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was
weird.
It was weird. That we broke up real soon after finding that out.
This movie also marks the first time a female director was able to gross $100 million at the box office
Yeah.
for directing a film. So that's good for Patty
Good.
Marshall.
Penny.
Penny Marshall.
Wow.
She
R.I.P.
recently passed
Penny.
away as
Shit.
well.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
she recently passed.
Yeah, in memoriam, and you don't even get her name right.
Sorry, Penny Marshall.
Patty Marshall.
Yeah, she was the first female director to ever make $100+ million at the box office, which is awesome.
Good.
Opening up the gates and the roads for other.
Prominent female filmmakers today.
That's right.
Even though we still have a lot more to go.
We
in
have a lot more
terms of-
growing to do.
No shit.
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
JT, what is big?
Oh, God.
Well, we follow a young boy by the name of Josh,
We got a new vile boy.
Yeah.
who is kind of yearning to be big. In fact, I don't even think he's yearning to be an adult. He just wants to be taller.
Right.
Which is like, that's a fucked up. That's like a fucking like what's that like thing called where like where you ask for something and then they give you like your wish comes true, but it's like not what you imagined. I know there's like a word for it.
Getting screwed.
No.
Bamboozled.
Sure, we'll say that.
Hoodwinked.
But he strives to be taller, but instead of being taller, he wakes up being a 30-year-old man.
His
Yes.
balls have dropped.
Quite.
And in becoming so, he is trying to find a way to turn himself back into a child. But in the meantime, he
Uses that dinger.
finds a way. We'll talk about that later. But he decides to pass his time by being a computer analyst at a toy
Yeah, because he's smart
toy
enough for that.
distributor. And
It's the 80s. Anybody who knows how to use a computer was a
yeah,
genius.
the 80s, like the computers were just like
Yeah, because he would have learned that in his, like, 8th grade class.
Well, you see him. That's a preempted. He works or plays with computers at home, so he's
Yeah.
a whiz at them.
yeah.
Then
God.
it's the 80s. That's how that works.
and
Macy plays with her smartphones. I don't think she's inventing for NASA next year.
He didn't get a NASA job.
Okay.
Got data entry.
Okay.
And at this job, maybe he rises up the ranks, and in the meantime, maybe even strikes it up with a flame of some sort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, ding, ding. Dinger.
Ding, ding, dinger. Got a ring dinger over here.
He's a real bum dad.
He's a bum daddy.
Anyway, there you go. There you have Big in a nutshell.
Big.
Every time you say it, it makes me laugh. Oh my god. Hashtag bum daddy.
So, yeah, I did find that weird. Like, I didn't really put it together until you said it. That like, he doesn't really wish to become an adult. He just wants to be taller.
Yeah.
Wasn't he being bullied or something?
No,
Not
he
even-
wanted to
not
ride
really.
a roller coaster, or so. He wanted to ride like a carnival ride, and they told me he was too small.
Yeah.
And then that's when he comes across that Zoltar, machine.
There's a bunch of things that come together when he's at a carnival. Like, he gets the, something word passed on to him that this girl that he really likes may like him. And so when he meets her at this carnival, like,
Ring-ding-ding-ding.
yeah, he can't get on the ride because he's too short.
Oh.
The person that she's kind of hanging out with is like a taller guy who can drive.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really not much more than that until he gets kind of like fed up with it. And he's like, goes to the Zoltar machine, or Zoltan, or Zordon,
Or Patty.
or Patty. Goes to the old that old soothsayer of a machine.
Yeah.
That was in the front of the Happy Joes forever.
Give me a quarter. I love quarters.
And he wishes to be big. Therefore, the machine is unplugged, grants his wish, wakes up as Tom Hanks.
An adult. He's matured. He's
That's
reached
right.
his peak
That's right.
of maturity.
Wakes up as a 30-year-old man in a 12-year-old's underwear.
Ew.
God, that was disturbing.
It wasn't as bad as maybe things that happen later if you think about them hard enough.
Oh, my. You two are just going to get into so much child.
I don't think
Seeing
a lot.
Tom Hanks in the tightest of underwear scamper about this house.
Yes.
It could have been nude.
You know what's also odd?
He might
in
as
this?
well have been nude. You can almost, like, piece it together.
Is it adequate?
Nah, you don't. It's not that. It's better if we don't dwell on this. He quickly gets out of the house because obviously he's like big now.
Wait, we need to address the fact that this movie definitely, like, glazes over things that are horrific.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because I was gonna.
Yeah, back it on
I was
up,
kinda-
Daddy-O.
I was kind of gonna press forward to a point that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
That, like, so he leaves the house scared that he's big, but immediately kind of comes back and like goes to tell his mom like something has happened.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm big.
Yeah, exactly. And she freaks out because she doesn't know who this guy is.
Freaking terrifying.
Yeah, like some home invader who
Yeah.
now maybe is like wearing his
The
son's
30-year-old
clothing.
man that's wearing his son's clothes. He even, like, was like, hey, I'll show you the birthmark I have on my thigh.
Yeah.
So you know that it's me. So she even sees that he's wearing his underwear.
Right.
And she pulls a knife on him where he's
Right.
like, get the fuck out of my house.
Right. And so that leads me to what I wanted to bring up is like, is this a comedy? It's, I think, labeled as a comedy.
Yeah.
I want to say when I was doing trivia on this, I'm going to look up on IMDb right now because I swear in the freaking synopsis of this, they say it's a comedy.
It is a comedy, but there are some horrific things that they glaze over where it's like, well, if we dwell on this too much, it's going to be depressing. So we're just going to be like, yeah, this is a thing that's happening.
Okay, so the first thing, it says big. Come on, 1988, rated PG.
Yeah.
I think there's a F-bomb in this, too.
Yeah, the kid, the neighbor kid from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids says fuck.
It's labeled as a comedy first, then drama, then family film. And the synopsis is...
Family. He's rubbing the shit out of her titties at one point.
I wanted to bring that up, too. After wishing to be made big, a teenage boy wakes up the next morning to find himself mysteriously in the body of an adult. That's the synopsis of this. I really felt bad for the mother in this. Because essentially she's dealing with a child abduction.
And everyone that she talks to about it always says, he's gonna come back.
Right.
Like, you don't know that! Or she's not supposed to know that you know that.
Right.
They don't even, like, bring up where it's like, oh, I know he's coming back. Don't worry. They're just like, well, he's gonna come back. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that almost never happens. And you're just kind of, like, saying it like it's a, get over it, idiot. He's gonna come back.
Not only is she reeling with, like, a child abduction kind of thing...
weird child abduction where the man that might have abducted him
is him?
wore his clothes.
Oh, yeah.
and is also tormenting her by continuously calling her.
Yes,
Yes, like
continuously calling her and writing letters.
Yeah, writing letters and calling. Yeah, letting the kid write her letters and then calling her, being like I'm just gonna hold on to him for a little bit, but I'm gonna send him back. I swear. I'm like, you're not helping the matter.
This is awful.
You're tormenting this poor woman.
The only way it could have been worse is if he wrote the letters by cutting out magazine letters and pasting them onto a freaking piece of paper.
Like, this mom, like, even that, like, does this mom even want to find the kid? Because I feel like there's enough things going on where it's like, this guy is tormenting me, fucking bug my phone, like, trace the call.
There is a missing kids thing on a milk carton at one point in this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? This is super sad.
Sad. They're, like, really dwelling on the fact that this child is missing and this mother is, like, completely depressed over it.
Right. But it's okay, because he bought a trampoline to put in his apartment. That's fun.
Yeah. He's got his own Pepsi machine. You're not going to put the quarter in.
Right. He sleeps in a bunk bed. And he only has a house for one. It's messed up. The most thing I find messed up in this, like, I can take, the premise that he magically turns into adult. That's fine.
Yeah.
The one thing I can't get over is that his friend can just go in and out of New York City.
That kid's parents are the worst.
Worst parents in the world.
You don't even see them.
No, he just, I'm assuming, takes money from his father.
Yeah.
And then takes a bus ride in with Tom Hanks into New York City.
Yeah. He skips school like it's nothing.
And then, okay, so this is the part where I really was like, what is fucking going on in this movie? So they take a bus trip to New York City. They rent a skeezy motel room.
Oh, yeah.
And then they leave Tom Hanks there. And he says, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta be back before 10.
Why?
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll
be back at 8:30 tomorrow. What? You can just come willy-nilly to New York City?
Yeah.
You don't live in New York City. You live in some, I guess, New Jersey suburb.
Yeah, they do say he's from New Jersey, don't they?
Yeah. If I didn't see it in the movie, I pieced it together. I doing trivia for the movie.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a pretty, I would assume, jaunt of a ride.
Or at least a bitch to get in, because traffic in New York is fucked.
So he leaves him at this skeezy hotel room, and Tom Hanks is still like the brain of a 12-year-old, is so scared that he left alone in this hotel room that he breaks down and cries, only to hear gunshots outside. After the boy had already left, and you can assume is in the street.
Yeah. Did the boy shoot somebody?
Where the gunshots are happening, and we're just supposed to be like, he's fine, probably. Like, let's just worry about him crying, not the boy who's just gonna hitch a ride back to New Jersey at
kid's hard.
Some godly hour.
That's a hard kid, though.
What the fuck? That's the one thing I'm like, these kids are out of control. Like, what are you even doing?
Papa Troy coming in here. Where are your parents?
Exactly. That was the one thing I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Otherwise,
I do like Tom Hanks' performance in it, though. I think he's the one that really drives the movie, because he does have like those small things that he portrays that like a kid his age would do. Maybe a little younger. Like, I think 13, I think you're maturing a little more than like doing shit like turning on all the lights in a car.
Oh, yeah.
And shit like that.
I have the only complaint I have about that is that, yeah, he's acting like a kid at a lot of points in this, but there are moments that I'm like, are you this is going to sound bad. Are you being autistic? Because, like, that's how it kind of comes off sometimes.
Like, in what ways?
Like, he's kind of dissonant from people, like, just kind of stares off, and, like, is kind of, like, a little scatterbrained about stuff.
Dude, you were in middle school.
Yeah, but I didn't act like that.
I did.
Maybe you're autistic. Were you immunized?
Yeah. I was. My parents were anti-vaxxers, so.
But so that'd be my only complaint is that sometimes that he seems like that. Only because so he forms like a budding relationship with a female coworker.
Yeah.
That I'll backtrack and like explain like what I think about that whole thing too. But at some points I'm like, you can't tell by talking to him that there's something off with him. You're kind of just falling for him. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in her shoes. Like,
Yeah.
you don't seem all there. Like, you seem like you may have a mental problem.
Yeah.
Like, I should feel like I don't know how I should feel about this situation.
In defense of like Tom Hanks' performance, I think, yeah, the means where like he's a little distant, I feel like that's definitely like a thing like a kid does, especially in his situation where he has to speak for himself and do things on his own. Like, he can't really depend on anyone else to be there for him.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like what they're trying to convey through that.
I can see that too. Like, I'm not dogging on his performance at all.
Yeah.
I just like felt it was mostly just the interaction between those two, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, how you never come. It just seems odd that she can never just like place that something is off with him, especially if she's spending so much time with him.
Yeah, and I can see that, but I think I feel like for her, I think the charm in him is that he's stepping back and letting her decide and do things, because they convey in the movie that she is around a lot of powerful dudes that just expect shit from her.
Yeah.
Like, expect shit from her as in, if you want this promotion, you gotta fuck me kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because there's even like a scene in there where like the guy's like listing off a bunch of dudes where it's like, oh, you're getting with him like you got with this guy and this guy with this guy and me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh god.
Yeah, and granted, there's not like a lot of backstory to that too. It's
Yeah.
kind of just up to you to see, kind of
Like,
make up your own story.
Yeah.
But
like, well, I'll talk more about like what I think of their relationship altogether when we get to it. But I feel like with her, I think the charm in him is that he has really no ulterior motives to be
Yeah.
with her. He's just there because
he
he likes
cool,
her.
rad job.
Yeah. Yeah, he just likes being around her.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
That's it.
and and she has boobs. Like, I think he's a 13-year-old that's hanging around a chick that has boobs.
Right.
I think that's probably part of it too. But no, I think it's also the fact that he just likes being around her, and that's probably one of the first times she's been around a guy that just likes being around her and doesn't like
Expect something.
expect to get laid.
Yeah. Before we get there, there was like actually a ton of people that I found that were up for the role of Tom Hanks's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Steve Guttenberg was one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford at one point.
Really?
Robin Williams,
Oh, shit.
John Travolta.
Robin Williams would have been fucking. That'd have been like off the wall.
It would have been. He would have been Robin Williams. He wouldn't have been the kid.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think that would have worked.
John Travolta, and the
Yeah.
reason they didn't do him because the producers thought he was box office murder at one point. Like, he was like not good for money. And then the most odd one that I found was Robert De Niro was going to be the adult.
Hey, I'm a kid.
And he was the first choice. Robert De Niro was, because like this script was actually being passed around and nobody was taking anything for it. Like, nobody wanted it until Robert De Niro found an interest in it, and then people wanted to pick it up.
Oh, shit.
But then they didn't want to pay Robert De Niro his $6 million price tag.
Oh, God.
And so they went with Tom Hanks, who more closely resembles the kid actor anyway.
Yeah, oh, dude, that kid does kind of look like a young Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like that weird slant in their eyes is kind of the same.
Yeah, but
It's not racist, Troy.
I didn't say that it was racist. I thought you were going to go for more like they have a curly head of hair.
They have a curly head of hair, too, but, like, especially, like, when you look in their eyes, they have, like, kind of like that same, like, kind of fold, like, in the corner of their eye.
Like a squinty, a little bit of
Yeah.
look. Yeah. I also think Steve Guttenberg would have been a decent choice for this, too.
Yeah, he'd have been good.
The Goot.
The Goot.
So why don't we jump into, now that he's an adult, and he decides that now he needs to be an adult in New York City. I kind of missed what the jump was, why he's running off to New York. What was the reason for that?
Because he really had nowhere else to be. Like, they're living like a small town.
Right.
So, like, I feel like he just went to New York just to get away. Well, first they went to New York because they needed to get the list of where the Zoltar machine was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then while he was waiting for that to come in, he just stayed at like that shitty hotel there.
Okay. That makes sense. Like, I totally forgot about that. It was like, even when that like came up later in the movie, I'm like, what is this again? Oh yeah, he needs to find the machine.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But then, so while he's there, he obviously needs to make some sort of money to get, some sort of things going for him there.
Yeah.
And ends up just applying randomly for a computer job while going through the classified with his buddy. And stumbles in and gets the job as a data
Why would
entry.
you give him a job based on what the shit you were saying? Like, you could definitely tell that the resume that he turned in is
doctored?
So doctored. He's making up bullshit left and right.
Right.
Like, even when he asks him questions about stuff, he's like, oh, yeah. Everything's clear here. All right.
The only thing he ever answers is yes, and finishes his social security number. Otherwise, his love interest comes in.
Also,
and totally derails the interview, and then he's like, you're hired.
Yeah.
Like, what? Based off what?
Also, they should know that he doesn't exist based off of the false social security number he gave them.
Maybe it was the 80s and they didn't do true security checks back then.
This is pre 9/11, so.
Right? Quite. But that's maybe the only thing I can think of. But so he's like, you're missing a few digits out of this. And he's like, 012. Oh, okay. That'll fill in whatever I need. And he's like, that seems to be fine.
Yeah,
sure.
That's not shady at all. But yeah, like the one scene that cracked me up that probably shouldn't have cracked me up was, so John Lovitz plays like his next door coworker, and he has like a scene where like he's pointing out all the people that work there, and then he points out like the one chick in the office that's kind of like sleeps around, and he's like, hey, all you gotta do is talk to her and she'll wrap her legs around you like a cobra. And then he's like, well, I better stay away from her. And then John Lovitz stares at her for so long that it becomes so comedic. Like, it goes from him, like, at first you're just like, oh, he's just kind of weirded out by him. But then, like, he stares at him for so long that it almost seems like he's pissed that he won't fuck her.
Yeah, I really liked that a lot. And I liked it for the exact same reason. The stare, like, goes on for just long enough where I'm just like,
they're still doing it.
Yeah.
He stares for so long.
But I love that John Lovitz in this plays every character that John Lovitz ever plays.
Oh, yeah, every character ever.
And it's so funny.
Yeah, it lasted just long enough that I started busting out laughing. It goes on for so long of him just staring at him unbelievably because he won't bang the office, like, loose woman.
Yeah, right. Speaking of the loose woman, while we're after that, there's like a business or a work party that is later on, and Tom Hanks like runs into the loose woman.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is. I feel bad calling her the loose woman, but I'm going to continue calling her the loose woman.
It's a lot nicer than other words we could use for her.
Yes. So I really thought more was going to come of that because, like, he's, like, licking the cream out of, like, some thing. Like, it could be taken very suggestively.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be followed up more by the loose woman.
Yeah.
And it never was, and I was kind of disappointed in that.
I do like it, though, when she, like, shows up and, like, starts talking to him, and he gets, like, really nervous. Like, Yeah. He's just like legit thinks that she's gonna suffocate him with her legs.
Yeah.
He's like, oh god, yeah, okay, bye. And he just like walks off.
And so now that he's hired, he seems to be a genius of data entry or whatever.
Yeah.
And just happens to randomly bump into the big boss.
Well, he's not even really a genius. He's just kind of coasting. But this movie does one of those things that drives me nuts all the time, where it's just, it makes like people in business seem like the dumbest fucking people alive. Like, especially like the things that when he finally gets his promotion and he's like talking to like people in the higher ups and he's giving all of his ideas are so stupid, and they treat him like he's the second coming of Christ.
I did think that was kind of funny though. It's like, what if there's a robot that can turn into a bug, and everyone nuts?
Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, I love that all the executives around like, oh, a bug. I never thought of a bug. Can you think of a bug? Think of all the things a robot can turn into a bug.
We can get girl ones and we can get ladybugs. Yeah. Like Robert Lowe's just like leaning back in his office. You're like, brilliant. Robert Loggia wants to fuck Tom Hanks in this movie.
I really like him in this, though.
I love him, too. That fucking FAO Schwartz scene is so fucking good.
Yeah, it is. And, like, so when that scene was coming up, I was like, okay, here comes the famous scene. Like, let's see how good this actually is. And it was, like, a fun scene.
It's awesome.
And it, like, totally this scine, like, hinges on the rest of the movie, like, their budding relationship on how he can actually grow.
Yeah.
But, like, I ended up liking it quite a bit. And I actually have a fact about the FAO Schwartz scene.
Yeah.
Is that the famous piano scene?
Yes.
Is like is a toy that doesn't exist.
Really?
It was fabricated for the movie. There's something that kind of is the same that was at an FAO Schwartz. It's like a big piano you can step on.
Yeah.
Not that big at all.
Yeah.
But all the keys played the same tone.
Yeah.
But like the director wanted one that like could play the song that they did. The one that
they do Heart and Soul and they do Chopsticks.
And so they created one and only for the thing.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks and his boss actually did it. Like,
yeah, you could tell like they do step on the keys.
And I couldn't tell if it was like they were programmed to go off at that time and they were just stepping on them when they were going to light up.
Yeah.
Or if they actually played it. But I think they actually played it.
I think they did. I can feel it. You could feel like there are like some slight pauses sometimes when they're like, "Oh shit, I gotta make this jump."
Right. Yeah. And I think like Tom Hanks or whoever steps on the wrong key at once and slides his foot over to the right one, so it like changes.
Yeah.
So I think it was like a legit thing, but they had stand-ins ready to do the thing, do the whole dance number.
Yeah.
And they never were used. It was Tom Hanks and
Robert Loggia. Which, man, Robert Loggia is like so old. Like, this is like the most active I've ever seen Robert Loggia in a movie.
I was watching him to see if he was going to be blown out, like doing this, and he seemed to be fine.
No,
he
fucking kicked that piano's ass.
Yeah, he did.
Like, every time I see him in a movie, he's always like, he either plays like a general or something, or he's like in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't do anything like that active, but in this he's like killing it on that fucking piano.
Right. I did find it far-fetched that he gave Tom Hanks some sort of vice president job to just play with toys.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever.
All he does is play with toys in his office.
Right. And he like is a vice president within a week of working there.
I would be pissed too if I was Home Alone dad.
Yeah, with Mr. McAllister.
Yeah.
I also, speaking of him like being there a week, like how long was he away from his family?
6 weeks.
Was it just 6? Oh yeah, because
the thing had to come back. Yeah, the thing had to come back in 6. The thing that said where the Zoltar machine was is 6 weeks.
Forgot about it again. I totally forgot about that. Because like at one point it seems like there's like a very big time jump.
Yeah.
Where he matures very quickly. And we'll get to that. But I was like, man, how long has he been away? Like, he could have been away a year at this point. And then if it's only like, but then I was ready for them to say like, man, what a crazy weekend that was.
Can't believe that all took place on a Saturday.
Yeah, I was completely ready for it. But then once that envelope shows up in the mailbox, I'm like, oh yeah, they had to wait for that shit. It was going to be 5 or 6 weeks or whatever.
Because by the end, it's like Tom Hanks and his girlfriend are borderline living together.
I would assume they are living together because when he really jumps into the relationship, you never see his apartment again. He's always at her place.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess he moved in. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He seemed to mature very quickly at certain
rented
points.
his apartment out to a fucking McDonald's for a play place.
No shit. Do you want to go on about their relationship a little bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to bring up.
I think I've hit pretty much most of my notes here.
But like the main like antagonist in it, Mr. McAllister, like the guy that's like kind of like pissed that he's getting all these like perks and shit. I do like what they did with him, where like he almost seems just as immature as Tom Hanks does.
Yeah.
But in a completely different way, like in a more adult way. Like I think that's what I like the most about this movie is that they do try and mirror how, like, even though he is a 13-year-old boy in a 30-year-old man's body, like he's not much different from other guys he comes in contact with.
Right. Whereas he comes off like he's an adult that comes off as like naive.
Yeah.
And that comes off as like more genuine. Whereas like Mr. McAllister is like kind of just a dick and comes off as very immature and juvenile.
Yeah.
Like in his way, because he's like jealous and like even like the racquetball scene.
Yeah.
Like he needs to cheat in order to like win.
Yeah.
And like Tom Hanks is like, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, this is a game for no stakes.
Yeah. Like, he probably gets it all the time because, like, any normal adult would be like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, that's your point.
Right.
But, like, because Tom Hanks is a 13-year-old kid, he's like, no!
Yeah.
I'm winning!
Yeah, it didn't touch the line.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't count.
Like, that's like me and my brother when, like, I'd be like, he would just, like, fuck me over, and I'd be like, you're cheating! Like, no, I'm not. Shut up. And then he'd beat me up.
Yeah.
Like, it reminded me of, like, an older brother, younger brother type situation where it's just, they're, like, fighting, but it's like the stupidest fight. It's like those fights you see in high school where they're, like, beating each other in the face and, like, the principal's about to call the cops and it's about, like, oh, you, like, brushed up against my girlfriend.
Right.
Or it's like, this is a dumb fight.
Right.
This is the stupidest fucking fight I've ever seen.
Yep. Yeah. There's plenty of those.
Yeah.
God, those are fun.
But no, I liked how they did that.
Mm-hmm. That racquetball scene in particular, I really liked. Because that was like the turning point where it's like, oh, this guy's just a fucking jealous asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he just has stooped to levels so low that even like this actual kid wouldn't even stoop to.
Yeah, like even though like his motives have changed, he never really grew up.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty much him and like Tom Hanks and Mr. McAllister. I'm just gonna keep calling him that. Are pretty much on the same level of maturity. It's just that like Mr. McAllister is just kind of he's like a bigger asshole because he's also he's more driven by like success and business and greed.
Yeah.
Whereas Tom Hanks is just driven by I just want to have a good time.
Right.
I'm a kid.
I'm a kid faking my way through life.
Yeah.
That's great. So that, the party scene is like a big game changer with the movie because at this point, I wish I'd look up her name, the girlfriend.
Oh, let me look it up.
I got IMDb.
Also, one of my favorite scenes when he first walks into the party and everyone's laughing at him because he's wearing that crazy ass tuxedo.
Yeah,
he does what I always do when people are laughing at me. He checks his fly.
Yeah, I
love that shit, man. That's a total thing. I do that. Like if people are looking at me and laughing, I'm like, oh fuck me. Okay.
Right.
Okay, good.
But I really like that too, and I like that the boss of the whole place is just like, you know what? This guy gets it. Like, this is a party. He's here to have fun. And then everybody else is like, fuck. And then Mr. McAllister goes off and gets totally sauced. And then Susan is her name.
Yeah.
Is like kind of with him up until this point where she like, doesn't leave with Tom Hanks with like good intentions.
No, she leaves him just because it's like, oh, I'm going to get laid.
I thought it was more or less like she's trying to like do like reconnaissance, like learn more about him.
But they do end up going back to his apartment, and she does kind of give like you want to get it on.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know if that was the like to try to get him into the sack in order to spill his guts type of a deal. You know what I mean?
Because they allude that that's kind of like her deal, is that she gets close to the guy that's like right above her, and then she kind of rides them up to the next level.
Yeah. But then through his Tom Hanks's rather like his naivete.
Yeah.
That really has no idea what's going on at all.
Yeah.
And takes her back to his place, which is decked out in like trampolines and toys and
arcade games,
bunk beds, and like genuinely shows her like a good time.
Yeah.
And we're like a time that she hasn't felt in a long time, and that was like the turning point of like her like leaving Mr. McAllister like the next day.
Yeah.
Granted,
she leaves him after he punches him in the face after the racquetball game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are you sure that she doesn't ask for his keys back right after the party?
No, I don't
remember.
It's after the racquetball game.
Either way, each is close
She talks
enough.
about how she went home with him and nothing happened, and then that's when he was like,
that's right.
Well, then I'll take him out and I'll see what he's really about." And that's when they do that racquetball game.
So then a budding relationship starts.
Yeah,
and I do feel like it's a pretty decent relationship. Like, he never discloses, obviously, that he's, like, a 13-year-old boy or whatever.
No.
But
they do have that scene where, like, he dances with her like a 13-year-old at a middle school dance.
Petrified.
Yeah. There are a lot of signs in here where it's like, she should have at least, like, got caught on that he's at least a virgin.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, there's something off about him, right? And then, like, so you know that they have sex in this.
Yeah.
And the one other weird part is that I thought in this is like, I've never seen Tom Hanks grab a breast before in a movie. And he does it in this, and I felt a little strange by it.
He does, yeah. How is this PG?
I don't know.
Because he grabs the fuck out of that boob.
Okay, easy.
He does.
He does grab her breast. But he doesn't grab the fuck out of her breast. Easy.
He does.
You are horny.
Like, she's still...
Chill out.
Dude, she still has her bra on, and he grabs it so hard that the bra almost comes off.
You are blowing this way out
I am not! Go back and watch it!
I saw it! I recently saw it!
He mauls the shit out of her boob with his hand.
So full of shit.
Dude, go back and watch.
Mauls her breast.
Yeah!
He like dumb.
Dives in palm first.
He tentatively comes up to her breast and then gently squeezes it.
Tentatively at first, and then once he gets on there and he sees that she's not stopping him, it's just whoosh. And then like it's so hard that like her strap from her bra falls down.
No.
Where it's like, man, that's a middle school grab. That's a 13-year-old I'm grabbing a boob grab.
All right. Somebody who has seen this on Twitter, like, let us know who is in the right here. Was it a gentle or was it forceful? And forceful not meaning rapey, just being aggressive.
I'll say it started out gentle, and then once he knew that he was in the clear, then it was just woof.
Okay, was it #gentle, #mwoof? That's all we need to know.
#mwoof.
However you want to spell it, just tag at @reviewreviewpod and we'll see it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up really kind of liking Susan and Tom Hanks's like relationship in this. I thought it was really good. I did find it immediately weird that after they bang after that night, that he comes in. Like I always like whatever reason the night after it's like somebody bangs, they come into work and they're like rejuvenated.
Just like whistling. Like every time I see that, it reminds me of 500 Days of Summer. When it's like when
that
they
whole
play, you make
number.
my dreams come true. With like cartoon birds flying on his shoulder.
Yeah. I do like that, but then I found it like immediately weird that he's like, well, now I'm gonna be a real grown up and drink coffee and
sex made me older.
Yes, yeah. And it was also at this point too that I'm like, I'm trying to put myself in like a 13-year-old shoes who just like banged for the first time.
Yeah.
It had to be 2 seconds.
I know.
He had to like blow it when he touched her boob.
Yeah.
That's what I was going through my head. Regardless, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He rocked her world, right?
Maybe he was working on his performance through some sort of weird like yoga.
Yeah, I bet.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He did some weird sting shit where he just like prolonged his orgasm for hours.
Like he just got to near the point of climax. Like don't go. All right.
It's so weird that we're talking about a 13-year-old boy's climax. What has this show turned into?
We got to start talking about more adult-oriented things so we stop talking about kids masturbating.
So he immediately goes into adult things and then is like shoved into weird like adult dinner parties and stuff. But I did like that scene because he just seems like out of place at that dinner party. And then when there's like he chimes in when there's something is like, oh, I learned that at school. I used to study that.
Yeah, you do think. Yeah, I do like that the kid walks in and he asks for help on his algebra homework, and everyone's like, I don't know. I haven't done algebra in I don't know how long.
Right.
I can't help you. And then Tom Hanks is like, yeah, I can help you.
I did that fucking yesterday.
I was doing that about a week ago.
What I also found funny about that scene too, I'm just extrapolating on it, but like there's a whole room of adults and the kid is like, Dad, I would really like help with my homework. And he's like, I'm with people. Like, I'm not going to help you, you idiot.
Yeah, stupid
And then
kid.
the wife is just like, we've paid so many tutors. We just can't figure out how to. And it's just like, why don't you fucking take the time to get into your kids? This is what's going through my head, right? Because now I'm going through dad mode. It's like, why don't you raise your son to be a fucking productive member of society, you fucking prick bitch.
Jesus.
And then Tom Hanks steps up to the plate and becomes an amazing mentor, winning the hearts of everybody here.
Yeah.
God, Tom Hanks is America's
he's
dad.
so good with kids.
Even at 13 years old.
He's so good with kids.
So, anyway, it eventually breaks to her that he is a 13-year-old boy in a 30-year-old man's body.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really take it very well.
No.
Do you want to take the floor from here?
Well, I think he tries to tell her that he is, and then she's like, "Oh, so that's how you're gonna break up with me? You're just telling me you're a 13-year-old?"
Yeah, what is this?
And then, I think she starts putting it together when his best friend shows up, who's a 13-year-old boy
who can just ride into New York whenever.
Rides into New York whenever, walks into an office.
Right. Pre 9/11.
These parents.
This is a pre 9/11 world.
Even when they're kids and they're talking on the walkie-talkies, and the mom is like, "Okay, you need to go to sleep. It's past midnight."
Right.
And then he's like, "Okay, well, I gotta go." And the kid and his friend is still on the walkie-talkie, being like, "Oh, okay." Like, where's your parents telling you that it's fucking past midnight and you're still on a walkie-talkie with your best friend?
Me and my brothers, we shared a room growing up. And if we were ever chit-chatty past 10, my mom and dad were in there like, shut up. Go to sleep. If we were caught chatting past midnight, they would have flipped their lids, I think. But, Yeah, so anyway, long story short, this kid has no parents. That's what I'm saying right now.
I think this kid just raised himself and just wants to make sure that he can feed his dog at 10 or something.
He's secretly 30.
Yeah.
In a 13-year-old's body.
That's the irony of the whole movie.
Right?
He's living vicariously through Tom Hanks, who was an actual 30-year-old that he was never able to become.
Right. So this was kind of the part of the movie now when he admits he's a 13-year-old to her. And the movie doesn't really dwell on it, but you would think that she realizes at one point when she meets like his friend is like, oh, I think he's telling the truth. Like, what else is going through her mind is like, I may have slept with a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And they never really dwell on that detail.
They never dwell on that.
Thank God.
In fact, they kind of make her want to double down on it, where it's like, well...
Call me when you're older.
Yeah, that's what this is pretty much is like, well, who knows what'll happen in 10 years? Where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. So, what I thought, because I've never seen this movie before, what I thought they were going to do is change her to be young. And so they could be together and grow up together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they did that, I think I could overlook the oddness of it. Because she was in the dark. It's really on Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Not disclosing that he is secretly an underage boy in the brain.
Yeah.
It's an odd line to ride here.
Hiding that he was a boy in the brain?
Right. He was a boy in the brain, but a man in the sheets. So when all that information is dumped on her, you can only imagine she's already kind of had like, you can assume like a shitty life up until now. She's got like a decent paying job or whatever, but she's kind of used and abused.
Yeah. She's only been promoted because she's willing to like sleep around with like the top executive guys.
Yeah. And so like once she's finally got something good happening for her, pretty much the entire rug and table and house is pulled out from under her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now I've kind of done something illegal.
Yeah. I fell for someone and he's 13.
Right.
Fuck.
Like, so like but it's an adult's body. So it's an odd thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to delve into it very much further.
I wonder if like I wouldn't say the director, but I wonder if like the writer, because I know like one of the writers was like a female. I wonder if she was like trying to convince people where it's like, see? Like, this is how I this is how I could fall for like a 13-year-old.
Oh, Jesus.
Where it's like, no.
No.
Well, no, not like that, but it's like they do frame it in a way where they try and make it where like you can kind of see where she's coming from.
For what reason?
Like that she's surrounded by a bunch of guys who are already immature, but she's falling for the one that's immature, but immature in...
But a genuine
person. in a genuine, naive, I just want to be around you because you seem like a fun person kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he does act very childlike throughout. Yes. Where it's like, you're still not picking up on a lot of these things. Like, you're not... These social cues aren't, like, striking you.
Yes, exactly. That's what my huge thing is. I'm like... It seems like you may be taking advantage of a person that may have autism.
Like, I wouldn't even say autism, but it's like he definitely he seems like someone that's lived with his mother a little too long. Like
a tad stunted.
Yeah, like he just moved out of his mom's house after she like breastfed him until he was like 16.
Right.
Like, yeah, like that's not striking you in the slightest.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I said that up top of the show. I don't need to go on with it anymore. But yeah, that's one of my big things. But then, yeah, I really thought that if she would have changed at the end with him, I thought I'm like, okay, that's a pretty sweet ending. Like, she wants to be with him so bad that she'll like live those years again to be with him. And I'm like, I guess that'd be a fun ending. That's not what happens.
But I do like how it ends though, where he even offers to her like, "Why don't you come back with me?" And she's like, "I did that shit. I am not doing that shit again."
And I also like that answer, but I the whole awkwardness of it is like, I feel like it could have been lessened, I guess, if she did like try those years over again.
Yeah.
Not that it was even her error. She fell for somebody that she thought was what he appeared to be, like a 30-year-old man. But when you really think about it, it's a very odd thing.
Yeah.
Things you could go to jail for.
Yeah. I think I can see what this movie was trying to do, but I feel like they did it in a way where it's like, are you saying that, like, are you saying like being with a 13-year-old boy is better than being with men today? Is that what you're saying? But it's like, but in a way, you can also see it as like people need to maintain like that childlike wonder, and maintain like that like just that constant feel of like learning and experiencing things like as a kid would, to be more appealing to other people around you.
Right. Like, just be a genuine person.
Yeah. Like, adulthood and society can mold you into like this guy that's like looking to nothing for, instead of like being like promoted and being like the best in your field.
Right.
And then this guy comes along who's not even trying, who's just being a genuine good human being, and then he becomes just as successful, to where the guys that like have like cutthroats and have been total assholes up to this point are just like, why is he getting it and I did all this shit and now I'm stuck here, where it's like, well, because you're a fucking asshole.
Right.
Like, I like that part of it, but then they also try and portray it in the way of like, and they also get women, where it's like, but he's still 13.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, it's still very odd that you're having this, granted it's a 30-year-old body, but he's a 13-year-old kid, and these memories are going to stick with him.
Right.
He's going to think back to the time that he had sex as a 13-year-old kid.
With an adult
With an adult woman.
Yeah. I feel like after this, he should have no problems trying to get that.
No problems.
That girl in his class.
He's going to just walk up to that blonde chick and be like, look, I pretty much did it all for 6 weeks.
Yeah. I did it all for 6 weeks.
I did it all.
I was with a woman in her 30s. She was down for some freaky shit.
Yeah. We did a lot of it.
I'm just going to say
I was practically moved into her place.
I did a lot of growing up.
Yep. Yeah.
I drink coffee now.
Yeah,
Black.
I drink coffee black.
I know about TPS reports. I know about all these things. Will you be my girlfriend? Will you go to the homecoming dance with me?
Yeah.
And her response would be like, what? You slept with a 30-year-old woman? That's what her response would be.
Yeah.
But this movie is highly lauded by a lot of lists of like movies you need to see before you die.
It's like the quintessential like growing up movie kind of.
Yeah, maybe.
Like it pops up a lot when people are talking about like big.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like one of the big draws when we decided to do this movie too, because I've never really seen it in full.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing I ever remembered of it, I saw it on TV, and the only part I can remember is him going to that Zoltar machine.
Yeah.
And then getting the card and then waking up the next morning and he's a kid, and I remember being scared of that. And I don't know why, but I remember feeling like creeped out that like he grew up and he like changed into something else, and I'm like, what is going on with this movie?
Also, his baby sister is super happy that he's an adult. She was all like his baby sister when like he runs into the room and she's like in her crib and she's like, ah, like pointing at him and shit, where it's like, why aren't you terrified that this man in your brother's clothing is running around?
She has a extrasensory perception.
Fair enough. Okay.
ESP.
That's good.
I'm surprised I remember that at this point. So, with that being said, like, what kind of... Did you have anything else that's really going on?
Not really.
What would you grade this movie as?
Like, I'm trying to judge on whether or not it's kind of a product of its time in terms of, like, the idea of having this 13-year-old boy sleep with this 30-year-old woman in a 30-year-old man's body. Because I feel like there's a lot of that sentiment where it's like, he's a man. Of course he'd jump all over the idea of being with an older woman when he's 13, because all 13-year-old boys want to bang like older chicks. But now we've have all this stuff coming out where these teachers are actually
doing
like
that shit.
doing that shit, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But I feel like in terms of what it does with Tom Hanks' performance, where he does come off as a genuine kid that's like always doing shit where like he's in a limo with her and he's turning on and off all the lights and shit. Like I did that all the time when I was a kid. Maybe not when I was 13.
Right.
But like I feel like they're kind of riding that line where like they're trying to really put across that he's a kid by doing things without him saying, I'm a kid all the time.
Right.
But like I said, I love Tom Hanks' performance. I think they do some cool stuff in terms of like portraying like how people never really grow up even though they're adults, but they like have these grown-up ideals but are not as or as just as immature as Tom Hanks is, even though he's a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'll give it like a B, like a lower end of a B, like just on the cusp of B minus, because I did have fun with it, and like the performances in it are pretty decent. It's just there's some subject material in this that is kind of fucked.
Yeah, and that's like the one thing I'm knocking this for. Like, I think it is a product of its time. If it came out today, I think a lot of more people would be up in arms about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I overall, like, I still had fun with it, though. But I think I would give it, like just a straight out B.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fun movie, but, like, it's just... I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, if you listen to this so far, you've heard the whole review. So, like,
For the John Lovett stare alone.
That definitely knocks a whole letter grade up. But I like the movie. There's some odd things in this. The odd choice that makes it kind of uncomfortable if you think about it too hard. It's kind of like tonally odd because every time like it jumps back to like his parents. They are obviously probably grieving that his son is missing.
His mom has got to be devastated.
They tout this as a comedy, and I don't think it really is. So
I think it's definitely portrayed as a comedy, but there are some moments in here where they just try and sweep it under the rug because it'd make it too depressing, where it's like, well, I'm not going to ignore the fact that you have abducted this child from her mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they kind of want you to, where it's like, well, we're going to show it because we're going to show it's a thing, but then forget about it right when it happens, because we want you to be in these fun moments with Tom Hanks.
It's not so much a comedy as it's lighthearted.
Yeah.
But then at points, like, get, like, real life. Where it's like, oh, like, this mother is definitely grieving that her son is being abducted or whatever.
Been abducted by a weirdo that stole his clothes and wore them.
Yeah. And showed me how he wore his underwear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll give it a solid B, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
So what, you listening audience, what would you give Big? Have you seen it before?
Yeah.
Let us know on social media.
Yeah.
But before we get to all of the plugs at the end, is there anything else you've been into this last week?
Well, I saw the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, Breaks the Internet.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
Okay.
I mean, it was fine. There's some fun moments in there, but I wouldn't go completely out of my way for it. I thought it was okay.
Okay.
And I saw the latest Transformers movie, Bumblebee, because I heard how it was way better than the other Transformers films.
Sure.
It is way better than the other Transformers films.
Good.
But again, I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
I figured
there's
much.
There's some fun moments. There's some really cool action scenes in there too.
Okay.
There's like a scene where like a Transformer dies because it just wrap a chain around him while he's a car, and then he tries to turn back into a robot, and it just gets all stuck up in him, and he blows up.
Oh, fuck.
Where I'm like, that's a fucking cool way to kill a Transformer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So there's some badass shit in there every once in a while, and they do go back to like the retro designs for all the Transformers too. Like Optimus Prime looks like Optimus Prime.
Right.
They even have the Transformer where like it's like the one that has like the cat that lives in his chest that comes out.
Right.
Like they show him for like a split second. Where it's like that's pretty fucking badass.
Cool.
So I think this movie is definitely made more for the fans of the actual Transformers, I think. Okay. But
we're like 80s kids.
Yeah. And I think it takes place in the 80s too.
Right.
So, yeah, it was fine for what it was. I dug the action scenes most of all. Uh-huh. But, yeah. And also John Cena's not good. John Cena's not good in this. Oh, John. God damn it, John.
Johnny boy.
Yeah. If you're gonna make it in Hollywood, you gotta fucking take some goddamn classes or something.
Christ.
There's some like heavy ass like action scenes where like looks like he's talking to a wall. Where it's like, my God.
I don't think I've ever seen him in. No, that's not true. I was gonna say I don't think I've seen him in anything but the Marine, but he's had like bit parts that I like.
Man, he's got a meteor role in this, and it's. He's got some work to do.
Okay, great.
Fuck. And I saw the season premiere of Barry.
Yeah?
That just came out this past week. God damn it. That opening scene alone in the second season of Barry. Go out of your way and watch it. It's so fucking good.
All right.
It's good.
Good friggin' deal.
You dig it the most, man.
I might check that out. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I've been into.
I don't have too much either. I have I read the 1000th issue of Detective Comics that came out last Wednesday. It's a bit of like an anthology book celebrating like the life of Batman and like the Batman family, and features like creators that have done like prominent runs on the stuff, and it was okay.
Yeah.
There was some that were better than others, but I overall I don't think it was like as I'll just say I don't think I liked it as much as the Action Comics 1000th issue that came out earlier this year or late last year. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's like a big monumental thing, so check that out. Also, I've been playing not so much Red Dead as much during the week. I only really can get to it during the weekends.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring up something with you that me and my brothers find like super funny in Red Dead. So obviously I'm just off doing whatever. Is
this about the fishing? Because I heard it on you and Chelsea.
Yes, this is about the fishing, and I wanted to ask you. So like, I love that like anytime you're fishing, Arthur will reel in a fish and just be like fucking like tickled pink that he has caught a fish, and can like usually name it or what it is. Like if you catch a bass, he's like, wow, smallmouth bass. He never does that with anything else. He's never happy ever. Like he shoots a deer and skins it, and he'll never say a word. But then you go catch a fish, and sometimes he'll just straight up be like, wow! It's like, me and Titus O'Neil just put it together that he just thinks fish are the most fascinating things in the world. Like, he'll go into town and just try to, like, buy books about fish just to learn more about fish and tell people in his downtime about fish. Like, that's what I think he does.
I didn't fish enough to pick up on that, but I'm so jealous that I didn't. But I am...
Go back and just start, because now every time you catch one, you'll just bust out laughing.
I am convinced that he's in love with his horse, though. Because every time he jumps on his horse, he's like, oh, come on, girl.
That's a good girl.
Oh, girl. He just like... Every time he jumps on his horse, he's got to be... Oh, yeah, come on, girl.
But yeah, I've been loving Red Dead when I can play it. But like the only time I can play it is like if I wake up way early on the weekends and get a few hours in before the family wakes up. That's about the only time I can play it.
Hey, take what you can get.
That's right. So that's usually a 4 a.m. wake-up call and play up until 7 when the ladies wake up, and then I'm the chef. So I make breakfast, and then I don't play it until next weekend. But that's going to do it for the show, I think. So, if you want to talk more about how Joel should fish in Red Dead, hit him up where at?
You can catch me at Buggy for Everyone on Twitter. Also, Buggy for on Instagram and Buggy for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy!
Find me at Short of the Max on Twitter. Find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. All of our episodes are uploaded onto reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as a slew of other places, such as Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us there, why don't you rate and review us there, because if you like the show, it helps other people find the show.
Yes.
If you want to write in, you can do so at reviewpod@gmail.com. And that'll do it for the show this time.
That will do it.
Make sure you hit up the Twitter for the Tournament of Random Movies.
Yep. Alita Battle Angel versus Colossal.
Also, hit us up with what you think the approach to that breast was. Hashtag gentle, hashtag mwoof.
I'm surprised you remembered that. I already forgot
I had to really pull for that one. That might not even be it. But if it's not gentle, that'd be the other answer. So I would love to hear the answers to that. But until Monday, what do we got going on?
Monday, to draw on the adults with childlike personalities, we're going to go back to our flashback review. Of a film that I enjoyed, Brigsby Bear.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Little one we did last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Brigsby Bear. Good time. It was a good flick.
Good flick.
I like it.
And then, of course, next Thursday, we're talking about the big release.
Yes.
Shazam!
From DC Comics and Warner Brothers.
Will they put it on the right track? Will DC put it on the right track?
We'll see.
We shall. This is one you're looking forward to.
I am very much looking forward to this.
He's staring at me right now on that fridge over there.
Buried by pens and empty beer cans.
Buried in pens and empty beer cans.
But yeah, Shazam's one of my favorite characters. I think he's really fun.
So I'm very curious on what you're going to think about it.
I listened to one spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to know what we're getting into.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look out for things that person brought up, but otherwise I've been staying clear from it.
Yep.
But
still looking forward to it?
Yes, I am.
Good.
One thing that they said that I'll share here is that it's a campy good time. And I'm like, that's kind of what I want.
That's what DC needs more of.
Yes. And especially for going into like Hellboy, who seems it's going to be a rated R take of the character, and then Endgame like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Like,
we need some fun.
Give me some fun.
We need some hero fun.
Exactly. Give me something. So that'll be the show, JT. So until we get into Brigsby Bear and a flashback episode for Monday, I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am a JT3K.
And we are off.